And it's like, okay, well, how many books are you going to read until you actually apply what's going on? Like, yeah, you can read it, but you have to go and do it. I find that people like to look busy, but are not actually busy. Hi, it's Taylor-Alexis, and this is a safe place to talk dangerously about life lessons in your 30s. If you're new, welcome. If not, thanks for coming on back. Hope you're doing well. You know that idea that you have, the creative one, the one that might make you some money that you've been sitting on for some time? Why don't you just start it? Start before you're ready, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, and you're going to kind of tweak it as you go. So that's what I wanted to kind of get into today. So let's talk. The late, great tennis star Arthur Ashe always said, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Also, Nike has pretty much perfected it, just do it. And then I'll also say, I don't know who said this one, but day one or one day? You decide. I want to kick this off by saying perfectionism is a scam. It is a complete scam. It's a scammy of scams. It's like Joanne scam. Obviously, the first step is always the hardest, but once you get into the swing of things, like, you'll be fine. You'll ease into it. You'll perfect it as you go. Perfectionism is basically the refusal to accept anything that's less than perfect, right? Which seems like ridiculous on paper, but you'd be surprised how often people fall into that trap, myself included. I think the root cause of it comes from like a fear of judgment, a fear of being perceived. And to be honest with you, like, perfectionism, you feel like you're in control, but you're really not, because you're not allowing, at least with creative stuff, you're not allowing things to flow because you're just holding on so tight. But that's having that all or nothing mentality is just, don't you have enough to do? You want to be perfect too? That's crazy. But another thing too with perfectionism can lead to procrastination. And I've been guilty of that. So I know if you have been guilty of that, let me know in the comments, okay? If you were playing a drinking game, you'd probably be drunk by the amount of times that I say the word perfect today. But you have to let go, and you just have to start. Start before you're ready. And I promise you, things will turn out okay. Right? And this is a message to myself as a reminder, but also that I want to share to you guys with that as well. But a perfect example, a perfect example of that would be Tyler Perry. If you're not familiar with Tyler Perry's story, I'm sure you're familiar with his films and his movies and Medea and all that. He had a challenging childhood growing up with poverty and instability at home with parents and stuff. And, he always wanted to be in theater. And he left his home. I think it was in Louisiana as well. He left Louisiana to go to Atlanta to begin his career in theater, where he was writing plays. He was living out of his car, on and off. Trying to get his plays to be shown in different venues, getting rejections, having to do his plays at churches and things like that. He didn't get his big break until like 1998 with the I Can Do All Bad by Myself play, which was later adapted into Diary of a Mad Black Woman in 2005. And, the rest is history from that. But I bring him up to say that he's a perfect example of using what you have and doing what you can to propel yourself to that next stage, right? To just start and just to get out there. And now look, films, TV shows, writing deals, does he have a podcast? I don't remember, but I know he's on a lot of podcasts. And the studio that he opened up in Atlanta, insane. It's insane. I would love to visit it one day. I really do. I don't know if they do tours, but I'll look into it. He just got started and he kept going. I say that to say, be like Tyler. You don't necessarily have to get dressed up as Medea, but start. And then I think too, learning by doing is far more the best example. And I know I'm so torn about college and things like that just because of the cost. But I think sometimes, obviously there are certain degrees or certain career paths that you have to, get specific school lessons and stuff like that, right? Doctor, lawyer, etc., a scientist, whatever. But although, and this is coming from someone that was in art school, yes, you get that round did experience, right? Where you get the theory of art, you're understanding it and things like that. But it's not until you start applying it where you'll see the difference. You'll see the changes that happen in your life. And that goes for anything. So, I can't even tell you the cost of tuition these days. And I'm actually scared because I'm like, oh, baby, what do you mean 80,000 for one semester? What? Why? A story for another day. So we have to connect those theories that you're taught to the real world, right? To the experiences that you're going to have. I always think about how you can get caught up in busy work or like reading all of these self-help books. And it's like, okay, well, how many books are you going to read until you actually apply what's going on? Like, yeah, you can read it, but you have to go and do it. And that's why I think like motivational speakers really, they take the cake because they'll get you motivated, but some people just get addicted to going to motivational speeches or events and stuff like that and don't actually do the work. That's another story for another day because I find that people like to look busy but are not actually busy. Another day. Let's talk about analysis paralysis. That is basically when you're feeling stuck about something because you're overthinking or you're overanalyzing it, and you get to the point where you're frozen and you don't do anything and you don't continue on with the goal, the idea, the passion, the project that you're pursuing. And that stems from not wanting to be judged or perceived, or you want, to be approved by others. And I think it's so freeing when you are not seeking approval from anyone. When you get to that stage in life where you're like, hold on, who's the author here? Just me? Smooth sailing. Actually, I wouldn't say smooth sailing, but you'll lighten the load because life is about ebbs and flows, right? But you'll lighten the load when you're not so worried about, seeking approval from family, seeking approval from friends, coworker, whoever, neighbors, dogs, virtual pets, whatever. So, don't let the idea or the fear of failing scare you because you have to fail. It's a part of winning. It's a part of success. You have to handle some no's and rejections because one, it's protection and it's also redirection. But don't get me to start preaching. And I know that uncertainty is so unsettling, but you have to have the faith of a mustard seed, y'all. You have to know that, hey, what I'm working on, I know it's gonna go. So don't trip. Like, everything's going to be okay as long as I keep showing up and I do my part. God will provide. The universe will provide. Whomever you believe in will provide. I also want to talk quickly about imposter syndrome. I don't believe in it. And I think I don't really believe in it, or I don't believe that I have it. And I remember watching a quick clip from an interview with Ilana Mayer, and she was basically saying, like, I don't have that. Like, excuse me, I work hard, right? I dedicate myself to what I'm into and what I'm focused on. In her case, it's rugby.
How do you overcome imposter syndrome?
I don't have that.
Really?
No, I don't know what that. It's like where you don't feel like you deserve it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I have it.
Okay, how is that possible? I feel like imposter syndrome ruins my life sometimes.
I feel like I deserve what I've gotten. I think that I've worked very hard, even in the rugby space. Like, I've played sports my whole life. I went and played rugby at, South Burlington High School, and then I made the late decision to play rugby here, and then I transferred here to play rugby. And then I do all the work off the field. I posted videos consistently from Tokyo till now. I posted many videos a day. I put myself out there. I put my whole personality, my whole everything out there.
So basically you're just saying, don't even acknowledge it.
I just don't think I have that.
I love it.
Which I think is also like people are told sometimes to feel like they have that imposter syndrome. But it's okay to be proud of what you've done. It's okay to believe you deserve something because you've put in the work for it.
So yeah, I don't feel weird about, being proud about what I've done. And I remember watching that clip and I was like, wow, that is so refreshing, because the interviewer was kind of like, really, that doesn't happen to you? Because I feel that all the time and it's taken over my life. And I remember like saying out loud, right? Real Caribbean. I was just like, that's because you let it. Like, wait, that's because you let it. The older you get, the more self-aware you are, the more confident you become, and there's different ways to work on your confidence. And I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm confident every single day, but I know what I am capable of, right? And I think if you don't know what you're capable of, then how are they going to see it, you know? There's no room for imposter syndrome when you have faith. I'll just leave it there because your subconscious is lying to you, right? It's telling you, oh no, you're not good at this. You're not great. Oh, you're awful. No, honey. We got to speak life and positivity because words mean things and the power of the tongue is real. Okay. Speaking of words meaning things, it's time to also combat the fear, right? We can fight back. And of course, we're all going to have doubts. We're all going to have some nervous moments, but that's because you care, right? That's because you care about whatever it is that you're working on, right? Like, will this go? Will this be successful? Will people engage with it? Will they like this? Put it out there and see what happens. It might not be a hit every time, but at least you're showing up and doing it. You have to make a conscious effort to reframe your thoughts. It's so easy to be like the negative train is so easy to hop on, right? And it could pull you down, or you have to really fight back and tell yourself, no, I deserve this. Like, no, I'm good at this, or I am working hard towards this. I've made it this far, so why would I stop now? You know, that kind of thing. Small steps if needed, of course. You don't have to run full speed ahead. You could probably crawl, you could walk briskly or whatever floats your boat. But you have to keep going and give yourself some positive affirmations. Listen, if you don't, who will? And listen up. You belong in the room, so act like it. Okay? All right, girl. Let's wrap. So what's one thing that you're hesitant to pursue? And what's holding you back? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments and I'll chit chat with you and see what's up. Just start. Just do it. Like Nike, baby. You have to get out there and do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to learn on the way. You're going to tweak as you go. If I look back at some of my older videos, the ones that I've archived, oh, baby. Man, oh, man. I'm just like, okay. But I'm proud of her, right? I'm proud of that girl in 2016 because she just went for it. She just started. So how could I not continue? I share that message with you guys. So just start. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I am Taylor-Alexis, and this is a safe place to talk dangerously. I don't know. In my head, this feels like a news segment or something. But yeah, if this was your jam and you liked anything that you heard here today, if you felt connected to it, let me know in the comments. Let me know. Hit that subscribe button as well, and I will see you here next time. Bye. Okay, go do it. You hear me?